Hello and welcome to this week's Beginner's Guide. This week we'll be talking about clearing out landmarks by looking at two battles and discussing the differences. The first battle that we're going to be looking at is for this silver secret tech landmark on turn 19 with a Kir'ko Commander and the Synthesis secret tech. We have the world threat set to extreme here, so it's going to be a pretty tough battle. The other battle we'll look at is for a gold landmark on turn 32 with a Syndicate Promethean Commander and the world threat set to moderate. And the reason that we're going to be talking about those two battles is because I want to demonstrate how valuable it is to clear these out as early as possible, and why you may want to wait until a later part of the match to actually try and take out some of these sites. We're gonna struggle clearing out this location here with this stack and not taking a single loss. So keep that in mind. It is kind of a tricky game to have some hard and fast rules for these types of things. You just have to adapt to what the game presents to you. The first thing you want to do when you're approaching these sites is you want to send a unit ahead to just kind of stick its head in there and to see what you got. It can just be a scout all by itself, and that will allow you to start to think about what you need to bring to counter these units. We have 4 mechanical units, which means they have some inherent psionic resistance, so you can't get around the armor the normal way. So I have this unit right here who does arc damage. Arc damage is better against mechanical units, so he should help out quite a bit with a lot of these dudes. I put some higher tier mods on him to try and help him hit his targets and to stay alive. So hopefully that works out as planned. These guys are going to be a lot easier to take care of because they don't have a resistance to psychic damage. Our psychic units here are going to just be able to wipe the floor with them. I think you're going to need at least one hero to try and clear out most of these locations. After that, I'd bring at least 3 tier 2 units. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 in this battle. In the next battle, we have a lot less. We have, I think, 3. Not a lot less, but we have 3 and 2 tier 1 units. So tier 1 units for the Syndicate actually work really, really well against the location that we were trying to fight. So yeah, like I said earlier, try and adapt to what the game presents to you. Bringing a second commander helps out a whole lot. If you have the resources to send a second dude over there, yeah, try and do that. Okay, so we're ready to jump into combat now. It's going to take a second for these guys to walk on forward. And now I need to push my units forward. Yeah, let's try and get around the side so we can do some flanking. Definitely want to use our special abilities. That special ability is incredibly useful, and you want to make sure that you use your tier 2 specialist abilities as much as you can, because they will allow you to stay alive a lot longer. If you just do attacks, you're not going to have enough tankiness or survivability on the board. So that little cloud right there, very, very nice. When we're playing Syndicate, we'll definitely be using our abilities to help out with that fight. You don't have very long until that defensive operation triggers in the top left. With this one, it generates a cloud of choking, what you call it, smog, and our accuracy goes down. After a turn, it drops a massive amount of thermal damage on us, so we need to move our 2 rightmost units the end of this turn. Yeah, but if we can take out this flyer, that really makes our lives a lot easier. Flanking shots, they're really good. It's a great way to optimize your damage. Heavy units will not turn when flanked, so it makes it pretty easy to get multiple flanks. Flanking other units, that's a little bit harder to do because they're going to turn when they get flanked, but you can kind of like pong them back and forth between the two directions if you want to. Not sure what's best here. Yeah. It could have gone through. It's worth taking some low percentage shots. If you take enough of them, then you'll get some damage at quite a far away range. Yeah, I may want to push him forward. If he dies, then it's not terrible. He'll just resurrect in 3 turns. Not a big deal. If I'm going to lose any unit, I'd rather lose my commander. And this way, he's going to get lots of Overwatch opportunities. A little melee commander in the back line it's pretty useful. We're going to try and kite that guy further back. The more we can kite him back, the better it is for us. Killing off that one unit earlier, it really does make this battle a lot easier. Killing off the flying unit means that now we can take advantage of our numerical advantage. You want to focus your fire on the smaller units as much as possible. If I can take out these purifiers, then we'll just be able to deal more damage per turn. Pretty big advantage that we want to try and get. But considering that they're less of a threat than the machine units, yeah, it's probably better that we move right up on that machine. I think when he attacks with his repeating attack, we'll get 3 opportunities to attack. Yeah, how do we proceed? He's right up in our face. I think, yeah, we kite him away, potentially, and go after some other targets. I mean, the fact that he's melee and he's right up in our grill means he's going to do a lot of damage if we don't start kiting him away from our damage dealers. He's scary close to that one hidden unit there, the Kir'ko hidden. And if we're lucky, we can pull him a little bit further back. Yeah, that went through. Need some critical hits here. We get some critical hits, then all 3 of those shots go through and they do a lot of damage. Regardless, there he goes. 1 more unit down, yes, and we still have all 6 of ours. Still haven't had to use any tactical operations. I'm waiting to do that for when we take a little bit more damage. Nice shot. That was awesome. Yeah, let's heal this guy up. We only have 1 tactical operation, but we have lots of points to play around with, so we can do quite a bit of healing in this battle. Oh yeah, take out that dude. Nice job. Now the question is, do I push further forward and attack the one that's further away from the group, or do I go in on this guy? I guess depends how this shot goes. Yes. It's a low percentage, but it's enough that I think it could go through. Look at this. There aren't many enemies left on the map now. Took out the flying one. And I think the tank and the bulwark, right? It's just these three. Yep. Flawless victory. Okay. Time for a new combat. Now we have 6 ranged units and they only have 2, which means we want to spread ourselves out and get some flanking shots. Just like in the other combat, flanking is, it's really important. You want to do it as much as possible. With this group, we're going to get a lot more crits because we have a powerful doctrine enacted. We have the Invader one, which gives us plus 400 morale. And you'll see how much quicker we're able to eliminate the enemies. With, that and a handful of other advantages. There are some AoE staggers, so we gotta spread ourselves out. If we clump up too much, that's going to be an issue. In the other combat, I did clump up a little bit because Kir'ko get an advantage for being near other Kir'ko. But for this one, we're gonna keep our guys spread out. A little bit of damage. They've already had their defensive operation trigger there. If you look in the back line, somebody's got a blue shield around them, and that makes them resistant to a lot of damage for a turn. So I would recommend taking out the other units. 1 down, easy. Oh, almost. These other units, they can't do a whole lot from where they are. I'm not too worried about them. I might get started on this guy. Oh, here we go. There's the crit. First crit. That's a decent amount of damage. You know what? I think I want to see if I can take out that unit. Whoa, hello. Nice. When we missed, we hit the other unit behind it. Another reason you shouldn't really clump up. But yeah, as you can probably tell already, this is going better. 2 units down, and we haven't really taken any damage. Sure, we have taken like a couple points of damage from their ranged units, but I don't think they're gonna accomplish a whole lot more. Look at that, another critical hit. Yeah, if you can take shots with a higher chance to crit, it's pretty powerful. Okay, so now they're stuck back there. I think the static charge mod here, it's quite nice. Look at that. Are you kidding me? 70% chance. Oh, and it doesn't die. Okay, sure. Just like if you take enough low percentage shots, they will go through. I guess if you take enough high percentage shots, they won't go through. So, you know, it's good to plan out as much of your turn as you possibly can in advance, but you gotta adapt to what the situation gives you. The dice don't always roll the way you'd expect. Yeah, that was worth doing just to take him out of the fight. These guys, since they used their ranged AoE, they gotta close the distance now, and given that we were all ranged, we're in a pretty awesome situation here. Just a matter of time. You know, generally speaking, the advice for this combat is very similar to what we did in the last one. If you understand their defensive operations, you bring the right units to counter them. You don't need to lose any units clearing out even gold sites on extreme difficulty. I do love this unit. It's just nice that it can heal and deal so much damage to certain enemy types. We are gonna have to do a little bit of kiting here, because that dude is closing the distance right there. Run away! That tile will keep him out of range of this melee, which I'm kind of scared of. You just move back one more tile, we're safe, right? Now, can I do anything next turn? Still worth being careful, because with that shield, he can run in and you won't be able to do that much to him too quickly. That's right, the AoE attack. Well, they don't have any easy targets they can melee now. So we can't do that much damage to this guy, big guy. Still, we don't want to kill him first. If we kill him first, then the other guy gets the shields. It might be time for a tactical operation. So we could let him attack, but I don't want him to get a crit, so yay, victory's ours, woohoo! Okay, now that we're done with the combat, let's talk about the loot a little bit. The loot you get from this gold location is pretty good. It's nice if you remember to use this offensive mod. But I found that in most situations I actually forget that I have this here, and while it can let me kill off a lot of units, at the later points in the game you don't really need extra damage or extra accuracy. There's other ways to go about that. The main advantage you get from clearing this location is the boost to your economy and access to this doctrine. The doctrine is pretty nice for certain playthroughs. If you're going to be playing friendly, this is good for you. And you also get access to this building, which it's kind of good but not that great. The loot you get from the silver landmark is very, very useful in combat. We get this Scorcher rifle, which is repeating and can hit multiple targets. It can hit any unit in a 3-hex line, so that will allow one of your heroes to just deal massive amounts of damage. And on top of that, we get this nice unit which will allow us to keep our units alive longer. It's got a really nice I think it's called like Fallout Protection something rather. And yeah, that's not the only bonus this location provides. It's going to give us a little boost to our economy and allow us to build a nice building, which is mostly designed for Prometheans, but this is still very, very nice. Getting 1 extra armor per tier of the unit is incredibly useful, and the only thing that would make this location better is if we were Promethean. I think that the loot was balanced so that if you aren't the secret tech that you're supposed to be for all the bonuses, you still get really, really nice gear. the gear that we got from clearing out that location is awesome. And I think in a lot of ways, this silver landmark was harder to clear out than the gold landmark because it was a secret tech location. And yeah, that's everything I had to say on this subject. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, to share the video, to leave a comment. All of those things are incredibly helpful for growing the channel. See you around for the next one.